Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. You know, travel is something many of us look forward to, but what if I told you that some countries might be off limits for Canadians in 2025? Yeah, you heard that right. Due to diplomatic tensions, new laws, and security measures, certain borders are closing to Canadians. In today's video, we're going to break down the top 10 countries Canadians are not allowed in 2025, and the shocking reasons why. Let's dive right in. Canada has long been known for its friendly global image. Canadians are known for kindness, politeness, and our multicultural society. But even we're not immune to political conflicts, security concerns, and shifting diplomatic relationships. As we approach 2025, travel restrictions have become more complicated than ever. So are you ready to find out where Canadians might face trouble at the border? Let's jump into this list. Let's start with number 10 on our list. Number 10, Iran. Due to a long-standing political rift and Canada's decision to sever diplomatic ties with Iran in 2012, Canadians face serious restrictions when trying to visit. While some exceptions exist for business or humanitarian purposes, in 2025, most Canadians will be denied entry unless they can prove a significant connection. This ban stems from diplomatic conflicts and ongoing tensions surrounding nuclear programs and regional conflicts. It's heartbreaking for those who want to explore the beauty of Iran, but politics are keeping us away for now. Number 9, North Korea. While it's always been difficult for anyone to visit North Korea, it's especially hard for Canadians in 2025. The government's strict policies and control over foreign visitors mean that only highly controlled tours are allowed, and even those are subject to very specific rules. Canada's position on human rights violations and its refusal to engage in certain agreements with the North Korean regime has led to many travel restrictions. If you're hoping for an adventurous trip here in 2025, you might want to think again. Number 8, Saudi Arabia. This is a difficult one. In recent years, relations between Canada and Saudi Arabia have been strained due to various political disputes, including human rights concerns and foreign policy disagreements. In 2025, many Canadians will find it difficult to enter Saudi Arabia without intense scrutiny or even outright refusal. While the country is a hub for tourism and religious pilgrimage, tensions over Canada's criticism of human rights abuses have left many Canadians on the outside looking in. Number 7, Venezuela. The country is facing a humanitarian crisis, and the Canadian government has imposed restrictions on travel to Venezuela due to the instability and the political situation. In 2025, Canadians will face difficulty in getting visas, and most travelers will be unable to enter the country without significant justification. Venezuela's government has also warned foreign nationals about potential threats, and Canadian tourists could find themselves at the center of unwanted attention. The situation is volatile, and it's best to stay away until things improve. Number 6, Syria. This one is tragic, especially for those who want to visit Syria's historic sites. The civil war that began in 2011 has left the country in ruins. In 2025, Canadian citizens will likely find themselves barred from entry due to the ongoing violence and unstable conditions. It's heart-wrenching for anyone wanting to reconnect with their cultural roots or explore the rich history of Syria, but the risks are just too high. Canada, along with many other countries, has advised against travel here for years. It's heart-wrenching for anyone wanting to reconnect with their cultural roots or explore the rich history of Syria, but the risks are just too high. Canada, along with many other countries, has advised against travel here for years. Number 5, Russia. Relations between Canada and Russia have been deteriorating, especially after the invasion of Ukraine. By 2025, Many Canadian travelers may find themselves banned from entering Russia or facing incredibly strict entry requirements due to Canada's support of international sanctions against Russia. Canadian citizens will also face considerable hurdles if they're hoping to visit Russia for work or pleasure. The political climate means Canadians will be treated with suspicion, making it nearly impossible to travel freely. Number 4. Myanmar. This country has been in a state of political turmoil for several years, particularly following the military coup in 2021. As of 2025, Canada has imposed travel bans on Myanmar due to its political instability and ongoing human rights abuses. If you were thinking about exploring Myanmar's natural beauty, it's likely off-limits for Canadian travelers. Canadians will face serious safety risks, and most embassies are not operational in the country. So while it's a heartbreaking situation, traveling to Myanmar is not advisable in 2025. Number 3. Afghanistan. Another devastating reality. After the fall of the Afghan government and the Taliban's resurgence in 2021, Afghanistan remains an extremely dangerous place for Canadians. In 2025, the country is still in chaos, and Canada has issued a strict travel warning, making it practically impossible for Canadians to enter. With ongoing military operations and human rights violations, the risk of traveling here is simply too high. It's painful, especially for those with ties to Afghanistan, but it's one of the countries we must avoid for safety reasons. Number 2. Yemen. At number 2, Yemen. Civil war, famine, and widespread instability have devastated this country. As of 2025, Canadians are not allowed to travel here due to ongoing violence and humanitarian crises. It's a tragic situation, especially considering Yemen's rich cultural history. Canada has enforced travel bans on Yemen, and getting any form of travel authorization will be incredibly difficult. It's simply too dangerous. At number 1, Somalia. With ongoing conflict, terrorist activity, and a weak central government, Somalia remains one of the most dangerous countries for foreign travelers, including Canadians. By 2025, the Canadian government continues to warn against all travel to Somalia due to the severe risks of kidnapping, violence, and instability. It's hard to imagine such a beautiful country being off-limits, but the situation in Somalia is too dire for Canadian tourists to visit safely. So there you have it, the top 10 countries Canadians are not allowed in 2025. It's a tough list to swallow, and it's heartbreaking for those with dreams of exploring these destinations. But remember, the world is still full of beautiful, welcoming places to visit.